Unsolicited advice.
What you whispering for? Yo, what's unsolicited advice? Take it or leave it. We all got them, and we all use them in a different way. And what I'm talking about today is excuses. How many of you use excuses on the daily just to get out of stuff? Sometimes we don't even know we're doing it. You know, it's almost like muscle memory. Our mind is just programmed to make excuses at the right moments because we're so used to making them. But there's so many excuses that we use, and we got to call ourselves on it. But I'm going to use the ones that I've used before, and hopefully it'll help you. One of the ones that I've used as an excuse is I'm too busy. You know, a lot of times that's just a way of avoiding taking on additional tasks or additional things, you know, or I'm just feeling overwhelmed and I just tell somebody, you know, I'm too busy. And sometimes I may not be that busy. I just want that little extra time to myself. Maybe I'm just being a little lazy, but that's a big one. You know, telling somebody, oh, I'm just too busy. But you just have to be careful about that, because what if they get too busy for you? Are you going to catch an attitude? You know, are you going to forget that you told them that you're too busy? You know, that's the one thing about excuses. People can have excuses for you too. You know, hey, you can't run from that. Another one that I've used before is I forgot. You know, I forgot. Now, I'm not going to necessarily say that saying I forgot is not a lie. It's honest, but still, it constitutes as an excuse. You know, but it's just deflecting responsibility sometimes. Sometimes you're just deflecting the responsibility when you say I forgot. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, my bad, I forgot. But it may be important to that person. So sometimes you just can't say I forgot, especially if they gave you detailed instructions, or, you know, they were precise on what they needed from you or what they needed done or whatnot. Sometimes saying I forgot is not good enough, not a good enough excuse. This one is more work related than anything, but making an excuse of I'm not feeling well. Now, it's wrong to do that. I understand though, but it's wrong. You know, to call in and, you know, say I'm not feeling well. Another way people do that is social events. You know, oh, you know, I ain't gonna be able to, you know, go out with you tonight. I'm not feeling well. It's like, you know. Now, I've used that as an excuse before. Not recently, but I've used that as an excuse. But I've learned not to do that. When I was younger, I learned not to do that because karma come back on you and you really end up sick. You know, sometimes using those excuses will come back on you. Saying I'm not feeling well is not a good one to do. This one, I think it hits home for your kids. But making an excuse to say that I don't have time. Sometimes you probably don't. But if you don't have time, sometimes you have to evaluate your responsibilities and your priorities in life. Because if you don't have time, let's just say for your kids. For your kids, you need to prioritize. Now, if it's a boyfriend or girlfriend, you might consider telling them, hey, you know, we might need to split up because right now I don't have the time that you deserve. You know, I don't want to waste your time. But if it's your kids or somebody important in your life, you're probably going to have to look at your priorities and reshuffle them so you can make time. This is for you ones out there with bad attitudes that love to say, that's not my problem. Using this excuse, in my mind, that means you want to fight, or, you know, or me and you got a problem. If you tell me that's not my problem, that just lets me know that you don't care. And I'm always going to take you as that type of person anytime I deal with you. Oh, you don't care. You've already told me before it ain't your problem. And you throwing more problems on somebody else because you feel like it shouldn't be your problem, it lets people know that you're the problem. And they probably need to get rid of you. This one is mainly for you ladies out there, and you young folks too. Using the excuse of saying that I'm indecisive, it's just the worst. It's the worst for people like me because I'm a straight to the point type of person. So for you to be constantly indecisive and I don't know, or what do you want to do, or what do you want to eat, or I ain't made my mind up yet. No, especially if we're adults now. We're adults now. You can think of a million things in your spare time, but now is the time for you to make your decision. You don't be that person. Don't be the indecisive one, because people will quickly be out of your life. Trust me, I know. I've seen it. They will be out of your life quick because they don't want to deal with you. You're the indecisive one. You never get invited to the vacation trips and things like that, or the parties, because they don't want to have to deal with whether you made your decision yet or not. The big dog is next. Saying I don't know. And I think this one probably touches a nerve with parents, because kids love saying I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh God, you hate hearing that one. That's probably the most irritating one, because it's almost being dismissive. Like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't know. I don't know what it equates to. I don't want to talk about this, because you should know. If somebody asks you a question, you should know. The only way you should not know is if you really, truly do not know. Most time y'all know, you just either don't care or you scared. Either way, it's just stupid. I don't know, it's the worst. The next one, I'm sorry, I'm laughing ahead of time. But another way that we got to stop making excuses is saying, I'm waiting for what God has for me. Now, for you religious folks out there, I don't want y'all to get upset. I want you to understand what I'm saying. When you go out here and you say that I'm waiting for what God has for me, you forget the cardinal rule. God helps those who help themselves. So you can't just be sitting on your ass talking about, oh, well, I'm just waiting for what God has for me. There's so many people on this earth. There's so many people in this universe, in this galaxy. You think God is on your time? No. So in the meantime, you need to be helping yourself. Stop making the excuse. You're just a bum. Another excuse that people love to give is, I can't control my attitude. It's not that you can't, it's that you don't want to. Some people think that it's a defense mechanism. They think it's armor for them to put on when they have an attitude. They think it's their way of controlling things. No, having an attitude is a weak person's perspective. You're just weak-minded if you have a constant attitude. It means that you have no type of social skills. You have no problem-solving or troubleshooting skills. You have no skills. You just think that your attitude is going to save the day on everything. You might as well just stay at home. And let's see. I know the only other excuse I can think of is I was waiting for you. And this is usually the relationship one, or the getting to know you stage. Oh, I was waiting for you, and I'm notorious for doing that too. Sometimes I'd be like, oh, because I overthink sometimes as well. So I'll be like, oh, I was waiting for you. Sometimes I'm too nice, or being too much of a gentleman. I'll be like, you know what, I'm going to let her make that decision. Just trying to be nice. And I've had to learn to not do that so much because I've had a history of being assertive and not working out well, because I know what I want. and I can lead, but not everybody wants that. So I'm still trying to figure that part out. But saying I was waiting for you is like saying that I'm tired, and I'm avoiding taking action. So, we got to stop making so many excuses. It's a sign of laziness, especially in our society. It's a big sign of laziness. It shows that we're lazy, that we're complacent, that we don't care about that person enough to give a better explanation. So, we should do better when it comes to making excuses. I got to do better. If I've ever made any excuses, I got to do better. But that's just my unsolicited advice. You can take it or leave it.